Okay, welcome sa aking video lesson at ang topic na ilo-lesson natin ngayon is the limit of a function, no? So, bago yun, shoutout muna sa aking mga estudyante sa STEM. So, this is for all of you para naman medyo nare-refresh kayo sa mga examples and medyo sanay tayo mag-solve ng limits of a function. So, the limits of a function, yung theorem niya is we are going to substitute lang yung value ng c dun sa given function. Okay, so let's have the following example, no? In letter A, we are going to evaluate the limits as x approaches to 0, no? In this one, tingnan muna natin kung magiging 0 ba ang denominator kung isa-substitute natin siya dun sa x, no? Kung ang x daw ay 0, so you have 0 squared, that is 0, minus 4 times 0, that is 0, minus 5. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na natin siya kailangang i-manipulate. So, diretso na tayo sa substitution ng c, which is 0. No? So, by substituting that, we have the limit, that is equal to 0 squared minus 25 all over, I have 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 5. So I can have negative 25 all over, this is 0, and this is negative 5. Negative 25 over negative 5 is positive 5. Okay, therefore the limit of this function as x approaches to 0 is approaches to 5. How about letter B? We have the limits of x squared minus 25 as x approaches to 5. Let's try to plug in 5 to all x in the denominator kung magiging 0 siya. Let's try. So we have 5 squared, that is 25, minus 4 times 5, that is 20. 25 minus 20 is 5, minus 5 is 0. Therefore, kailangan nating i-manipulate yung function for us to eliminate the 0 in the denominator, na kailangan iwasan natin na maging 0 ang denominator. Now, in doing that, we have to simplify this one. Since numerator and denominator are factorable, we can factor it for us to eliminate some factors that are common. So we have the limits of the factor of x squared minus 25 is x plus 5 times x minus 5. Okay? And the factor of x squared minus 4x minus 5, that is negative 5 and positive 1. That is x minus 5 and x plus 1. Let us try to evaluate. X times x, that is x squared. X times 1, that is x. Negative 5 times x, that is negative 5x. Negative 5x plus x, that is negative 4x. So, negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. So, therefore, this is the factors of this function. So, as x approaches to 5. Okay, by doing that, let's have the cancellation method for the common factors. So, we have x minus 5, they are common. Okay, so wala na, kaya pwede na natin itira si x plus 5 over x plus 1. So, we have limit of x plus 5 over x plus 1 as x approaches to 5. That is equal to, okay, plug in na natin yung 5 dun sa x. So, we have 5 plus 5 over 5 plus 1. So, I have 10 over 6 or 5 over 3. So, eto na yung limits niya. Okay? Set of examples. So, I have letter C, that is 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 5x over x as x approaches 0. So, sabi ko nga kanina, it can be factored. Kung ang x daw ay 0, it can be undefined. Tama ba? So, ibig sabihin, pwede nating i-factor yung taas for us to eliminate x in the denominator, okay, so factoring the numerator, so I have the limit of x times 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 over x. Okay, so finactor lang natin yung numerator, x approaches 0. So since may common factor tayo which is x, we can cancel it. So natira na lang natin is the limit of 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 as x approaches 0. This time, pwede natin i-plug in yung 0 sa x. So we have 3 times 0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 5. So I can have 3 times 0 squared, that is 0, plus 2 times 0, that is 0, plus 5. And that is equal to 5. Therefore, the limit is 5. How about in letter D? In letter D, we have the limit of x squared minus 5x plus 6 over x minus 3 as x approaches to 3. So, let's try muna kung ipa-plug in natin yung 3 sa denominator kung magiging 0 siya. Okay, kung ipa-plug in natin, that is 3 minus 3, that is 0. Therefore, pwede tayo mag-factor sa numerator. Okay, so, the factor of the numerator, we have, ano kaya ang factor ng numerator? We have x minus 2 and x minus 3 because negative 2x minus 3x is negative 5x and negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. So, correct. Tama ang ating factor. So, we have x minus 3 in the denominator as x approaches 3. We need to eliminate x minus 3 in the denominator kasi nga magiging 0 siya. So, meron naman siya common factor sa numerator so we can cancel it. Okay? So, ano na natira? X minus 2. So, we have the limit of x minus 2 as x approaches 3. So, we have to plug in 3 to x. So, we have 3 minus 2 that is equal to 1. So, therefore, the limit is 1. The limit of this function is 1. Okay? Okay, let's have another set of example. So, I have the limit of square root of x plus 1 minus 2 over x squared minus 9 as x approaches 3. Okay? If x is approaches to 3, if I plug in the denominator, that is 3 squared minus 9. And 3 squared is 9 minus 9, that is equal to 0. So, all I need to do is, I need to rationalize the numerator. Rationalizing the numerator, I will multiply it by the conjugate. Okay? Conjugate of the numerator for us to rationalize the numerator. Okay, so we have the limit of square root of x plus 1 minus 2 over x squared minus 9 as x approaches to 3. Imumultiply natin siya sa conjugate ng numerator. So, we have x plus 1 plus 2 over square root of x plus 1 plus 2. So, hindi naman maapektuhan yung sagot nito kasi ito ay equal lang din naman sa 1. Okay? So, multiplying that, applying the difference of 2 squares kasi sum tas difference. So, we have the difference of 2 squares. So, we have the limit of square root of x plus 1 squared minus 2 squared. Okay? All over x squared minus 9 times square root of x plus 1 plus 2 as x approaches 3. Okay, now, simplifying those, we have the limit of the square root of x plus 1, that is x plus 1, minus, that is x plus 1, that is 2 squared is 4, all over x squared minus 9 square root of x plus 1 plus 2. Okay? So, as x approaches 3. Let us simplify, no? So, we have the limit of 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So, I have x minus 3 in the numerator. And I have x squared minus 9 times square root of x plus 1 plus 2 as x approaches 3. Okay? Now, ito, ang nagsasabi na kapag daw inilagay mo yung 3 doon, magiging 0 to. And 0 times this value is 0 pa din. So, may x minus 3 ako sa taas, which has the common factor in x squared minus 9. So, ibig sabihin, matatanggal na natin yun. Okay, so we have the limit of x minus 3 over, i-factor natin yung x squared minus 9 sa baba. So, ang factor niya is x minus 3 and x plus 3. Okay, multiplied by x, square root of x plus 1 plus 2. So, yan. So, na-cancel na siya. Okay, as x approaches to 3. So, ang natira na lang sa numerator ay 1. So, we have the limit of 1 over x plus 3 multiplied by square root of x plus 1 plus 2. X approaches 3. Now, we can plug in na yung 3 dun sa x. So, we can have 1 over 3 plus 3 times square root of 3 plus 1 plus 2. So, I can have 1 over 3 plus 3 is 6 multiplied by square root of 4 plus 2. That is equal to 1 over 6 times square root of 4 is 2 plus 2. So, I can have 1 over 6 times 4. And finally, I got 1 over 24. Therefore, the limit of this function as x approaches 3 is 1 over 24. Okay. How about letter F? Okay. How about letter F? So, in letter F, I have the limit of the square root of x squared minus 5 plus 2 over x minus 3 as x approaches 3. So, all I need to do is to find the conjugate of the numerator kasi nga i-rationalize natin yung numerator. So, find the conjugate of the numerator. I have the limit of square root of x squared minus 5 plus 2 over x minus 3 multiplying by the conjugate of the numerator, which is square root of x squared minus 5 minus 2 over square root of x squared minus 5 minus 2. Again, it does not affect the value here kasi nga ito ay equal lang din naman sa 1. Okay. So, by that, we need to apply the difference of two squares. So, I can have the limit of square root of x squared minus 5 squared minus 2 squared all over x minus 3 multiplied by square root of x squared minus 5 minus 2 as x approaches 3. So, this one, simplifying, cancel lang si square at saka si square root. So, I can have the limit of x squared minus 5 minus 4. Okay? X squared minus 5 minus 4. So, by this, I have x minus 3 times square root of x squared minus 5 minus 2. So, negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. So, I have the limit of x squared minus 9 over x minus 3 times square root of x squared minus 5 minus 2. Okay, as x approaches 3. We need to eliminate x minus 3 here. So, it has the common factor with x squared minus 9. Kasi mapafactor mo pa yung x squared minus 9. So, I have the limit of x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x minus 3 times square root of x squared minus 5 minus 2. So, cancel to kasi common factor. So, I can have the limit of x plus 3 over square root of x squared minus 5 minus 2. Na-eliminate na kasi yan eh. So, as x approaches 3. So, pwede ko nang ilagay na 3 ang x. So, I can have 3 plus 3 over square root of 3 squared minus 5 minus 2. So I can have 6 over 3 square is 9 minus 5 is 4. That's square root of 4 minus 2. That is 6 over square root of 4 ay 2 minus 2. That is 6 over 0. So, wala tayong nagawa. 0 talaga ang denominator. So, we need to evaluate as the limit does not exist. Or should I say it is infinity. So, ibig sabihin, hindi nag-exist yung limit dito sa function na ito. But, we do everything for us to evaluate its limit. But, its limit is over 0 talaga. So, wala tayong magagawa. So, that is the limit does not exist or infinity. Okay, this time naman, let us focus on the theorem on the existence of limits. Dito natin ma-identify kung ang limit nga ba ay nag-exist. Dito papasok ang tinatawag natin na right-hand limit, which the limit approaches from the right, and the left-hand limit, the limit approaches from the left. So, in symbols, the limit of f of x as x approaches c exists if and only if the limit of f of x as x approaches c from the right is equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches c from the left. Meaning, kailangan ang right hand at saka left hand limit ay equal to determine that the limit is exist. So, let's have examples. So, it is applicable for piecewise function or piecewise defined function. Let us determine if the limits exist or did exist in the following piecewise function. Let's have letter A. In letter A, the value of C is 5. Okay? Ibig sabihin, the value of C is 5. Now, first and foremost, we are going to find the limit at the right. Okay? The limit as x approaches from the right of C. So, from the right of C, alin nga ba ang function na from the right of C? From the right of 5. That is greater than 5. Titingnan nyo kapag ka from the right, yung greater than 5. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang gagawin po function ay x plus 2. So, you have yung limit of f of x mo as x approaches C from the right ay x plus 2. 5 from the right. So, by this time, ginamit natin yung x plus 2 kasi siya yung greater than 5. Okay? So, plugging in 5, so we have 5 plus 2. So, I have 7. Okay? So, the limit as x approaches 5 from the right is 7. How about the limit x approaches c from the left of f of x? Okay? So, ang gagamitin nating function ay yung 5 from the left, yung less than 5. Since ito yung x less than or equal to 5, so we can use this function. So, I have 3x minus 5. So, evaluating this one, so I have 3 times 5 minus 5, and that is equal to 15 minus 5 is 10. Okay, as we can see, the right hand limit, the left hand limit, 7 is not equal to 10. Therefore, you can say that the limit of f of x as x approaches c or 5, okay, as x approaches 5 does not exist for this piecewise function. Another example. So if I have f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 3 if x is less than or equal to negative 5, and square root of x plus 5 if x is greater than 5. Okay? Our c here is negative 5. So find the limit as x approaches negative 5 from the right. So yung negative 5 from the right, kailangan yung greater than negative 5, which is here, square root of x plus 5. So, plugging in negative 5, so I have square root of negative 5 plus 5. That is equal to square root of 0, and that is equal to 0. Okay. Finding the limit as x approaches negative 5 from the left. Kailangan natin ng less than negative 5, which is ito yon. Less than, ito ang ating pipiliin. So we have 3x squared minus 3. So I have to evaluate this one. I have 3 times negative 5 squared minus 3. That is equal to 3 times 25 minus 3. That is equal to 75 minus 3 is equal to 72. As we can see here, the right hand and the left hand limit are not equal. 0 is not equal to 72. Therefore, I can say that the limit of f of x as x approaches negative 5 does not exist. So, ganyan lang mag-prove ng if the limit exists or does not exist in the following piecewise function. Okay, now naman, let us focus on the limits which involves infinity. Ano nga ba yung limits na ang approach or ang x ay nag-approach sa infinity? So, let's have its steps to find the limits involving infinity. The first step, we have to divide the numerator and denominator by the highest power of x. Next, dividing by the highest power of x, we have to simplify the function. Step 3, we just substitute infinity for all x and evaluate limits where a over infinity is equal to 0, in which a is any constant. So, any constant divided by infinity, that is equal to 0. So, let's have here an example. So, let me have letter A, the limit of x to the fourth minus 10 over 4x cubed plus x as x approaches positive infinity. By that, doing the first step, we need to divide the numerator and denominator by the highest power of x. Determining the highest power of x, I have x to the fourth. Okay? So, I'm going to divide all terms by x to the fourth. So, I have the limit of x to the fourth over x to the fourth minus 10 over x to the fourth all over 4x cubed over x to the fourth plus x over x to the fourth as x approaches infinity. So my goal here, by simplifying, I need the numerator be a constant. Kailangan constant lang yung numerator natin sa bawat term. So, simplifying this one, I have the limit of x to the fourth divided by x to the fourth, that is 1, minus, ito hindi naman simplify kasi constant ang nasa taas, that is 10 over x to the fourth, over, ito, cancel si x cube, natira si x sa baba. So, I have 4 over x plus, cancel si x sa taas, x cube na lang sa baba. So, I have 1 over x cube as x approaches infinity. Okay, this time, I need to substitute. Okay, substitute infinity for all x. So, ibig sabihin, I have 1 minus 10 over infinity all over 4 over infinity plus 1 over infinity. Okay? So, lahat daw ng sabi doon, evaluate the limit where a over infinity is equal to 0. Lahat ng may over infinity magiging 0. So, that is 1 minus 0 over 0 plus 0. That is equal to 1 over 0 is equal to infinity. So, therefore, the limit of this function as x approaches infinity is infinity. Another example. Okay, so if I have the limit of x cubed over x plus 3, okay, first step is divide each term by the highest power of x. The highest power of x in this one is x cubed. So I need to divide all by x cubed. So x cubed over x cubed all over x cubed plus 3 over x cubed. X approaches negative infinity. So, i-simplify lang natin, so that is equal to the limit of x cubed divided by x cubed is 1 over This is x. And na-cancel si x dito. Naging x squared na lang baba. So, 1 over x squared siya. Plus 3 over x cubed. As x approaches negative infinity. So, ngayon naman, isa-substitute na natin yung infinity or negative infinity for all x. So, it will have 1 over negative infinity squared is infinity. 1 over infinity. Plus 3 over negative infinity cube is negative infinity. So, I can have 1 over... Ngayon, ang gagawin na natin, lahat ng may over infinity magiging 0. So, this is 0 plus 0. That will become 1 over 0 is equal to infinity. Since our c's approaches to negative infinity, if the answer is infinity, it corresponds to each other. So, therefore, it is negative infinity. Okay, let's have this example. So, I have the limit of x plus 5 over 2x squared plus 1 as x approaches positive infinity. So, first step, divide all by the highest power of x. So, I need to divide this one. So, the limit of x over highest power natin ay x squared. So, I need to divide by x squared plus 5 over x squared over 2x squared over x squared plus 1 over x squared as x approaches infinity. So, simplifying, I have the limit of x over x squared cancels x dito, tas na-cancel din siya doon. So, I have 1 over x na lang. So, plus 5 over x squared all over, na-cancel to. So, I have 2 plus 1 over x squared as x approaches infinity. So, substituting infinity for all x, I have 1 over infinity plus 5 over infinity over 2 plus 1 over infinity. Lahat ng may infinity, nagiging 0 siya. So, 1 over infinity, 0. 5 over infinity, 0. So, 2 plus 1 over infinity, 0. That is 0 plus 0 is 0 over 2, that is equal to 0. So, yun yung kanyang limit. That is 0. The limit of this function as x approaches positive infinity is 0. Okay, next. Letter D. So, let's have letter D. So, the limit of... Okay. We have the limit of 2x over x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3 as x approaches negative infinity. So, evaluating this one, so we have the limit of 2x over the highest power of x is x cubed. So, i-divide siya sa x cubed all over x cubed divided by x cubed plus 2x squared divided by x cubed minus 3 over x cubed as x approaches negative infinity. Okay, so simplifying this one, I have 2 over x squared na lang all over. Ito, cancel, that is equal to 1. Cancel, natira si x dito sa baba. So, I have 2 over x, negative 3 over x cubed. X approaches negative infinity. So, now, lahat na ng x, lalagyan ko na ng infinity. 2 over infinity all over 1 plus 2 over infinity minus 3 over infinity. Okay, negative infinity siya. Okay, so that is equal to, lahat ng over infinity magiging 0. 0 over 1 plus 0 minus 0. That is equal to 0 over 1, that is equal to 0. So the limit of this function as x approaches negative infinity is 0. Okay, let's have the limit of 3x squared over 4x squared plus 3x as x approaches infinity. So the highest power of x is x squared. So dividing all the terms by x squared, I can have 3x squared over x squared all over 4x squared over x squared plus 3x over x squared. So simplifying, tanggal si x squared, x squared, x squared, x squared. So, x na lang matitira sa baba. So, I have the limit of 3 over 4 plus 3 over x. Okay? X approaches infinity. So, now, pwede nating ilagay ang infinity sa x. So, we have 3 over 4 plus 3 over infinity. That is 3 over 4 plus 0. That is 3 over 4. Therefore, the limit is 3/4. How about letter E? The highest power of x is 4. So, I have to divide all the terms by x to the 4th. So, I have 5x to the 4th over x to the 4th all over 3x to the 4th over x to the 4th minus 2x cubed over x to the 4th plus x squared over x to the 4th. Okay, simplifying those, we have cancel here, na-cancel to, natira dito ay x, na-cancel to, natira dito ay x squared. So, I have the limit of 5 over 3 minus 2 over x plus 1 over x squared. X approaches negative infinity. So, substituting infinity for all x, I have 5 over 3 minus 2 over negative infinity plus 1 over infinity. So, I have 5 over 3 minus 0 plus 0, which is equal to 5 over 3. So, that is the limit. Okay, a short reminder for all of you, kailangan natin para gumaling tayo is practice, practice, and practice. Go STEM from Sir Aala.